Both of us were arrested at Springfield Mall for the charges of carjacking, robbery, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. I was 15 years old, and I remember getting arrested, and we were at Pentagon City Mall, and it was the craziest thing that ever happened to me, obviously. I was 15, and even everyone in my family. Looking back on those days, leading up to that moment of my arrest, it was really, really, really ugly. And it was the times were bleak. The moments were ugly. The courtroom appearances were hideous. I was a 15-year-old kid who just turned 15 a week prior to me getting locked up. And I was facing 23 years to life in prison. What happened? I got convicted and sentenced to 23 years to life as a 15-year-old kid. I was certified as an adult, and I was sent to a super maximum security facility, and my judge said that he did me the favor of suspending 15 of those years, which left me with 8 years to spend in prison. Celebrating my 16th birthday, 17th birthday, 18th birthday, 19th birthday, 20th birthday, 21st birthday, 22nd birthday, 23rd birthday. All of these years I spent in prison. I grew up inside of a prison cell. During the time that I was in prison, as you can imagine as a kid, my world was a little bit different than those that I shared cells with at that time. I grew up in the closest thing to me was my family. Just as any other typical teenager, it was the family in my life that kept me together, even in prison. It was the family, it was my mom, it was my sister, my uncle, my aunts. It was those that cared the most about me despite the path that I took. Because I don't have that story of, oh, horrible, horrible situation, horrible. No, I pulled a gun out on somebody and actually robbed them. It's a horrible, horrible thing that happened in my life, but it was a very pivotal moment. It was pivotal because my family could have did this or they could have did that. And they chose to do this. They tried to do that. And they chose to support me the entire time I was in prison. They came to visit me. They sent me letters. They took pictures. They kept me abreast of everyone that was happening in the family. But how many of you guys were back this was in the mid 90s to early 2000s. That was during the era of Polaroid pictures and 35 millimeter. We used to take our one-time use cameras and take them to CVS and Walgreens, get them developed. This was before the time that we have now of cell phones. See, now we communicate in a completely different way than we communicated back in the 90s when I was in prison. And so the one thing that kept me in control of my moment when I was in there, these guys don't have now. The way we communicate now, we use Facebook, we use Instagram, we use Twitter. Follow me at Flikshop. We use text messaging, we use email. We use all these modes of communication, but now in 2016, those guys who I was locked up with, Andy and Kyrie and all of my friends that I actually grew up in prison with, they're no longer in contact with their family members. Because their family members don't have the time, like my family members had the time back then, to write letters, send pictures, get them developed, put them in an envelope, address them, put a stamp on them, and drop them in the mail. Those days are over with. I mean, we even pay our bills online, right? We don't use stamps and envelopes any longer. And so the guys who are still locked up behind those prison walls, they wanted to know, Marcus, you're home now. And the great thing about this part of the story is that after I came home and I was released from prison in 2004, I got a job at a paint store. I started doing some things at the paint store, and it allowed me to actually open up my first painting business. I would open up a painting business, and now, 12 years later, that painting business has 18 employees, and we gross over $3 million a year. My friends, they can't understand. They don't get it because they're like, Marcus, I can't see you any longer. I don't know what's happening because Facebook has completely tore away our connection to the streets. And I would love to be able to tell them, hey, man, look, I got signed this major contract with BWI Airport, and I want to take pictures of it and show it to show them, listen, it doesn't matter that just because you're in prison right this very moment that this is the end of your life. Your life has an after. I had it before. This is my after. I had a redemption moment, right? And what happened was that redemption moment could not be shared only because of what Mark Zuckerberg did with social media. So now, because my friends can't see it, I was like, man, dang, I wish there was a way I could just text you real fast and be like, yo, I'm doing this, take a picture, send it to you. But I can't do that because you don't have cell phones inside of prison. There's no internet inside of prison. There's no emailing inside of prison. So you have 2.4 million people in this country right now who do not have direct access to their family members. Why did I create Flikshop? Flikshop is the mobile app that allows you to be able to take a picture, add some quick text, press send, and for 99 cents, we send a real, tangible, full-color HD postcard in the mail directly to any person in any prison, anywhere in the country. We have over 2,000 facilities that we service, and we have now bridged a gap for 2.4 million people who are now able to see their family members grow up. My friends are able to see now my 5-year-old son go from his baseball game to his basketball game to him practicing his Mandarin. Yes, my 5-year-old speaks Mandarin. It's crazy. It's the one homework assignment I just can't help him with. I'm like, dude, you're your own. I don't know what to do with that. But now they're able to see this. I'm able to take a quick snapshot and say, yo, man, look at my son, man, he's getting big, it's crazy. Put my phone back in my pocket. And now they're gonna send that picture in about 2 to 3 days directly in their cell. What is my why? Very simple. I wanted to change the world. And I'm doing that from a global perspective. I have users in Germany who are sending Flikshops to people in LA. I have people in Puerto Rico who are sending Flikshops to people in Maryland. I have people that are working on judiciary committees that are saying, we want to be able to help all of these guys in the federal prisons, but they don't even know what bill SB 149 looks like. I tell you what, we're going to take it very, very easily away of taking a picture of this bill and say, hey, listen, if you're interested in applying for this kind of opportunity, and they press send, and it goes out to a blast of guys all on a postcard directly to their cell. What's my why? Because I did 8 years in prison, and I know how important pictures and mail are to family members all across the country.